Suzanne, thank you for being one of my very first guests on Boss.
Hi, Allie. I'm happy to be here.
So exciting. So first, I want to know, who is Suzanne Mulder in a 30 to 60-second elevator pitch?
I'm a passionate advocate for learning and helping employees grow, whether it's first coming out of the university into the workforce or whether it's employees who have been with us for 30 years and are looking to learn new skills. I really love to learn. That's probably my driving force in life. And I'd love to help other people learn as well.
I think that's why we get along so well too, right? Like, I legit like to get paid to learn and network. That's like my thing. It's always been my thing. I told the former COO of Viacom. That's what I'm passionate about. So I think we kind of geek out on that too.
I used to always say my dream job was to just get paid to learn, right? Like just be like a forever university student being paid to learn like everything from archaeology to astronomy. I would love that.
So how did you get to where you are now? And where did like your brain trust, your executive network, like where did all of these bosses and networks come to you in your life?
So I would have never predicted that I would end up in a corporate office job. I started out working in the arts and theater and lighting design and technical theater, and loved the creativity of the arts, but also had to pay student loans back and ended up getting an office job from just a survival standpoint, really. And I just landed someplace that allowed you to reinvent yourself and support yourself. And I had leaders that I worked with early on that could see that if you had hard work and if you worked hard and if you were creative and could innovate, that there was opportunity at that company. And I just was very fortunate.
That's at Bloomberg.
At Bloomberg, yeah. And I will say my first manager at Bloomberg, thankfully, he was my manager because he had, I believe his undergraduate degree was in philosophy. He would quote Bob Dylan in meetings. And it just like made me realize that, oh, you don't have, like, I don't know, I had a stereotype about what working in an office would be like. And he really helped me see that there was a place that I could fit there.
So speaking of that a bit, like what are the most important leadership qualities in your opinion for executives today?
I really think it's curiosity, creativity, and empathy. Those are some of the things that I try to lead with, that I admire in leaders. And I think especially with everything that we're going through today, empathy has got to be one of the strongest things that we lead with. And I think that the creativity side of things is about problem solving, right? It's really about problem solving and innovation during difficult times where we all need to adapt so quickly.
How has working from home been for you?
Well, first of all, I feel very fortunate that I'm able to work from home and work for a company that, is necessary and very important in the financial markets to keep stability. So I'm thankful I'm able to do it. It's been really difficult at times. It's been really wonderful at times. I've really enjoyed spending time with my kids, even when they're barging into meetings to ask for more time on the Xbox. I'm okay with that.
Speaking of, well, I guess twofold there, kids and also job loss, or just kind of what's happening in the broader context. So we do know that around 60% of job losses in the pandemic have been women, and the stats are even worse for people of color. What are some tips that you have around kind of finding new opportunities right now, possibly career pivots? You've made a career out of learning. Like, what can people do?
I think one of the strongest lessons that I've learned is the importance of investing and building your network at all times of your career. Because whether it's networking to figure out where the jobs are right now, or it's reaching out to people to say, oh, wow, I need to transform my entire catalog of learning to virtual. And I had people that I could reach out to ask about how to do that, right? So when it comes to the job loss piece of it, I think it's really challenging, but it's about reaching out to that network and asking for help, honestly. One of the initiatives that I'm involved in is something called L&D Cares. And it is a group of L&D professionals that have come together, like seeing what's happening with so many people losing their jobs, and potentially more in the future, and saying, how can we connect job seekers to the jobs that are out there? How can we support people in the field of L&D to find work, but also to understand how the world of L&D is changing very, very rapidly, so that if they are looking for work, they can see the types of skills that are becoming increasingly important. Because I feel like the innovation and the rapidity with how we've had to change, it's like the things we've been talking about for years that we should do more of, more virtual, more live, all these things. And we just, there was no choice anymore. We had to invest really fast. Right now, where my head's at is now I'm trying to reimagine what my kids' education can be like.
Yes, that's my next question. So
Yes.
Working parents, which both of us, it's September, like back to school is happening, whether we like it or not. I'm personally excited not to have some of the down weeks because we were able to do some camp, but it's going to look completely different for them, and different ages, depending on where you're living. It's complete. I mean, one town could be this, one town could be that. What's your advice for the kids, for other working parents, for people who are working with working parents? Like what can you share?
Well, I think on some level, like, it's health and safety, right? And health and safety, and making sure that your kids have that basic piece in place. Of course, what I'm looking at is, I don't want to lose a year of learning. Like, I feel like the spring was a little bit lost in terms of learning, and I don't want that to happen again. So as I look at the school year, and we are all virtual, is reimagining again what it can be like. So trying to come up with some creative ideas, like we were just talking last night about, let's start every day with like a piece of music of the day. And we can, for me, it might be, Van Halen Jump. Probably my kids have never heard that song, or if they have, they think it's like an emote in Fortnite or something.
I appreciate that. And I mean, I think also, like, it's not going to be perfect. We can't beat ourselves up. There's a lot more iPad and screen time than, probably any of us wants in many cases, but it's like, there has to be some leeway here for all of us to be able to do this. Let's do the lightning round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Try to answer these in a few words or a short sentence.
Oh, not a long paragraph. Okay. All right. I'll try.
What is the most important skill that leaders need for the future of work in one word?
Data.
Name your career role model or favorite boss, or anything in that topic.
My dad.
Favorite programming language?
SQL, so that I can use Tableau.
Book that everyone needs to read.
Like Water for Chocolate.
One piece of advice for future bosses.
Be curious.
The
Always be learning.
The one thing that you'll commit to do in 2020 to help pay it forward.
The L&D Cares initiative, and also learning as much as possible to be a strong ally.
What do you want to be known for over the next 6 to 12 months?
Creativity.
How do we know each other? And like, why did you say yes to continue working with me?
Well, we worked together because of one of the initiatives Bloomberg did with General Assembly, and we've just worked really closely together over the last few years for this long-term upskilling initiative of our employees.
Suzanne, finally, anything else that you want to say or share with me to close out this amazing new LinkedIn video series called Boss?
I think it's a great series, and I wish you the best with it. Everyone should tune in, of course. But I do think that, following Allie on LinkedIn is a good idea, because she's always putting good stuff out there. And I've always enjoyed seeing how she approaches it and try to incorporate it into some of what I do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.